Greetings, and welcome back to the channel where we keep our eyes on the heavens so you know what's heading for Earth. This December, the sun is not winding down for the holidays. In fact, it's preparing to unleash a series of invisible broadsides against our planet. Get ready for a period of significant geomagnetic activity as massive, complex sunspot regions are now turning to face us, and they have already begun to stir. Earth's magnetic shield is about to be tested. Overall, December of 2025 is shaping up to be an active month. We are anticipating at least two significant geomagnetic storms, with the first one arriving right at the beginning of the month. This activity is driven by a combination of coronal holes and powerful solar flares, meaning the threat is both persistent and unpredictable. Expect periods of intense activity, followed by brief, uneasy calms. So, what are we actually talking about? Let's quickly break it down. A magnetic storm is a major disturbance of Earth's magnetosphere, our planet's protective magnetic bubble. When the sun ejects a cloud of charged particles, called a coronal mass ejection, or CME, and it slams into our field, it causes it to rattle and shake. We measure this disturbance using two main scales. The KP index runs from 0 to 9, with anything 5 or above considered a geomagnetic storm. For more serious events, we use the G scale, which goes from G1, a minor storm, to G5, an extreme one. A G1 storm can affect power grids and satellites, while a G5 could be catastrophic. Now you understand the stakes. Let's get to the detailed forecast. This is your calendar of geomagnetic events for December 2025. The month begins with a deceptive quiet. December 1st and 2nd will be calm, with KP index values around 2 and 3. Use this time to prepare because the situation changes dramatically on December 3rd. A moderate storm is forecast to hit on Wednesday, December 3rd and continue into Thursday, December 4th. We expect the KP index to jump to 5. This event is what we call a complex storm, caused by two solar phenomena hitting us at once. First, we are being blasted by high-speed solar winds streaming from a coronal hole on the sun's surface. But more importantly, this will be combined with the impact of a coronal mass ejection, which erupted from the sun following a powerful X-class flare on December 1st. Think of it as a 1-2 punch against Earth's magnetic field. This first storm of the month is the one to watch closely. At a KP index of 5, we are entering G1, or minor storm, conditions. There is a strong possibility that this could escalate to a G2, or moderate storm level. The most spectacular effect will be the aurora. The northern lights could be visible across the northern tier of the United States, potentially seen from New York all the way to Idaho. By Friday, December 5th, the storm is expected to weaken slightly, with the KP index dropping to 4, which is still considered an unsettled level. True calm doesn't return until the weekend of December 6th and 7th, when the KP index should fall back to a more stable 3. A period of quiet then settles in from December 8th through the 12th, with a low KP index of 2. This will be a much-needed period of geomagnetic peace. Don't let it fool you. The second major event of the month is forecast for Saturday, December 13th. We are expecting another moderate storm, pushing the KP index back up to 5. This will likely be a shorter-lived event than the first storm. By December 14th, its intensity should drop to a KP index of 4, and by the 15th, things should return to a calm KP index of 2. The remainder of the month is less certain, but with the massive sunspot complex now rotating into an Earth-facing position, the potential for further flares and storms remains elevated. We must remain vigilant. Now, what does this mean for you on the ground? The impacts can be divided into two categories: health and technology. For those sensitive to weather and geomagnetic shifts, a KP5 storm can trigger a host of issues. You might experience headaches, migraines, sudden spikes in blood pressure, insomnia, or a general feeling of anxiety and fatigue. These are not just feelings. They are physiological responses to the environmental stress your body is under. On the technology front, the risks are very real. G1 storms can induce weak power grid fluctuations and have minor impacts on satellite operations. GPS navigation, which relies on these satellites, can become less accurate. High-frequency radio communication can be disrupted. For a G2 storm, these effects become more pronounced. Voltage corrections may be required on power systems, and satellite tracking could be affected, requiring updates for orientation. This is a critical time for any industry that relies on precise location services or stable power. So, what can you do to prepare and mitigate these effects? Here are our key recommendations. First, for your health. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water before and during the storm peaks. This helps maintain your body's natural balance. Second, reduce physical and mental strain. If you can, avoid intense workouts or stressful, high-stakes meetings on December 3rd, 4th, and 13th. Third, if you are prone to headaches or blood pressure issues, ensure your medications are readily available. Don't wait for symptoms to appear. Fourth, for your technology, be aware of potential GPS disruptions. If you are traveling on those key storm days, especially in remote areas, have a physical map as a backup. Don't rely solely on your phone or car's navigation. Fifth, protect sensitive electronics. While widespread power outages are unlikely with G1 or G2 storms, voltage fluctuations are possible. Consider unplugging valuable equipment during the peak of the storm if you live in an area with an unstable grid. Sixth, stay informed. The forecast can and will change. A new solar flare could happen at any time, altering the intensity or timing of a storm. Check the forecast daily leading up to the key dates. And seventh, listen to your body. If you feel unwell, don't dismiss it. Rest is your best defense against the invisible stress of a geomagnetic storm. Remember, these forecasts are our best assessment based on current data, but the sun is a dynamic and sometimes unpredictable star. The information we've shared today is a warning, a guide to help you navigate the coming cosmic weather. Always check for the latest updates as we get closer to the storm dates. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe, stay prepared, and don't forget to subscribe for the most up-to-date space weather alerts. We'll be watching the sun for you.